In the world of tech and innovation, few figures have shaped the digital landscape quite like Evan Spiegel. Born on June 4, 1990, in Los Angeles, California, Spiegel was raised in a world where Silicon Valley's influence loomed large, but his path to becoming one of the youngest billionaires in history was far from typical. From a young age, Spiegel exhibited a sharp mind and an entrepreneurial spirit, two traits that would define his career. He was a natural at building connections and innovating from the start. During his years at Stanford University, he immersed himself in design and product development, where he met co-founders Bobby Murphy and Reggie Brown. The trio's partnership would eventually give rise to one of the most influential social platforms of the 21st century, Snapchat. But Snapchat wasn't born overnight. Initially conceived as a simple idea one where photos would disappear after being viewed, Spiegel's concept quickly evolved. This fleeting nature of communication tapped into something deeper about how young people wanted to connect. But the journey to making Snapchat a household name was filled with setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. In the competitive world of tech, success is never guaranteed. Spiegel faced skepticism from investors and struggled with the question of whether his vision could become more than just a passing trend. His insistence on maintaining control of Snapchat, a decision that at times seemed like a risk, would eventually prove to be one of his most defining moves. As Snapchat evolved, Spiegel continued to push the envelope, expanding the app into a multimedia platform and introducing features like stories, which would reshape the way people interacted with digital content. Evan's story isn't just about innovation, it's about resilience. It's about navigating the complexities of Silicon Valley's fast-paced, high-risk environment while staying true to his vision. Today, as CEO of Snap Inc., Spiegel has not only weathered the storms of the tech world but has also pioneered new forms of communication, giving rise to an entirely new cultural language. But who is the man behind the glasses and the billion-dollar empire? What drives Evan Spiegel? What lessons can we learn from his unique journey, filled with triumphs and failures alike? This is the story of Evan Spiegel, the tech visionary who changed the way the world communicates, and the man who, despite the odds, built an empire on the foundation of simplicity, innovation, and bold decisions. Evan Thomas Spiegel was born on June 4, 1990, in Los Angeles, California, into a world where technology and innovation were already deeply intertwined with everyday life. The son of a successful lawyer and a former model, Evan was raised in a privileged environment that exposed him to the dynamic worlds of both business and media. However, from a young age, it was clear that Evan was driven by his own passions, particularly in design and technology. Evan's journey into the tech world began at Stanford University, where he studied product design. It was here that his interest in the intersection of technology and communication truly took off. But it wasn't just academic achievement that defined his time at Stanford. His entrepreneurial spirit was already beginning to take shape. He teamed up with two classmates, Bobby Murphy and Reggie Brown, to develop a mobile app that would later become one of the most influential platforms of the digital age. In 2011, Spiegel, Murphy, and Brown launched the app called Peekaboo, which allowed users to send photos that disappeared after being viewed. While the initial idea was simple, it tapped into a growing desire for more private, ephemeral communication in the digital world. Soon after, the team rebranded the app as Snapchat, a move that would set the stage for one of the most groundbreaking transformations in the social media landscape. At first, Snapchat was met with skepticism. Critics doubted that people would embrace the idea of sending photos that vanished in seconds. But Evan Spiegel, always the visionary, believed that the impermanence of digital communication had the power to change how people connected. The app quickly gained popularity among teenagers who saw the potential for more genuine, less polished interactions. Despite the app's growing user base, Snapchat faced several early challenges. For one, Spiegel and his team struggled to convince investors to take the app seriously. Many doubted its staying power and were skeptical of the monetization potential. But Spiegel remained steadfast, sticking to his belief that Snapchat was something unique. He rejected multiple buyout offers from giants like Facebook, who attempted to purchase the platform, a move that many saw as risky. Spiegel's decision to maintain control over Snapchat paid off. Over the next few years, Snapchat evolved from a photo-sharing app into a multimedia platform that integrated stories, video messaging, and augmented reality filters. Features like these reshaped the social media experience and set Snapchat apart from its competitors. The introduction of the Snapchat Stories feature, in particular, would later be replicated by nearly every major social media platform, from Instagram to Facebook, signaling its undeniable influence. Spiegel's leadership, however, was not without controversy. As Snapchat CEO, he often faced criticism for being secretive, stubborn, and reluctant to change course, even when the platform's growth slowed. Yet, his persistence and confidence in his vision continued to drive the company forward. In 2017, Snap Inc. went public with its IPO, raising billions and making Spiegel one of the youngest self-made billionaires in history at just 26 years old. However, success was not without its struggles. After Snapchat's IPO, the company faced intense competition from other social media platforms, most notably Instagram, which adopted many of Snapchat's key features. In response, Spiegel pushed for constant innovation, leading the company to explore new frontiers like augmented reality and original content. Despite fluctuating stock prices and financial challenges, Spiegel's determination to maintain Snap's independence has remained unwavering. Beyond business, Evan Spiegel's personal life has also been a subject of public interest. In 2017, he married Miranda Kerr, a former Victoria's Secret supermodel, in a low-key ceremony. Their relationship has become one of Hollywood's most high-profile, yet private, unions. Together, they have children and have largely kept their personal lives away from the public eye, a contrast to the transparency and connectivity that Snapchat promotes. Today, Evan Spiegel continues to steer Snap Inc. into new realms, exploring the possibilities of augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and even wearable technology. Under his leadership, Snap has made bold strides in developing its AR capabilities with products like Spectacles, the company's AR glasses, pushing the boundaries of how we interact with the world through technology. Through his journey, Spiegel has been lauded as a visionary leader who wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo and go against the grain of Silicon Valley's culture. But his story is not just one of business success. It's also about resilience, the refusal to compromise, and the relentless pursuit of a vision. A vision where communication is more authentic, creative, and, in many ways, more human. Evan Spiegel's impact on the world is undeniable. As one of the youngest tech moguls in history, he has forever altered the landscape of social media and digital communication. But the story of Evan Spiegel is far from over. The future is still unfolding, and his next move could very well shape the next generation of technology. In 2011, Evan Spiegel, along with his co-founders Bobby Murphy and Reggie Brown, created an app that would forever change the way people communicated online. It all began as a simple idea: what if photos could disappear after being viewed? This idea, birthed from Spiegel's desire to make digital communication more genuine and less curated, quickly evolved into something far bigger: Snapchat. Originally called Peekaboo, the app was designed to allow users to send photos that vanished after a few seconds. Spiegel, ever the visionary, believed that this impermanence could solve a growing problem in the digital age: the pressure to curate and filter every aspect of one's online persona. The app allowed people to share moments without the worrying of them being permanently documented and archived on the internet. However, success did not come immediately. In its early days, Snapchat struggled to gain traction, with many people questioning the need for such an app. Critics argued that photos disappearing after being seen was a gimmick, that it would only appeal to a small, niche group. But Evan Spiegel's belief in the power of impermanent communication fueled his perseverance. He didn't just want to create another social network. He wanted to reimagine how people could interact with each other in the digital space. By 2012, Snapchat was gaining momentum, particularly among teenagers, who saw it as a platform for more authentic and spontaneous interactions. In a world where everything online was becoming permanent, Snapchat's disappearing messages gave users a sense of freedom. No longer did they have to worry about a moment captured in a photo haunting them forever. It was a digital world where mistakes could be made, where vulnerability was allowed, and where people could engage without the pressure of perfection. Snapchat's true rise began in 2013 when the app introduced Stories. The feature allowed users to post a series of photos and videos that would remain visible to their friends for 24 hours before disappearing. Stories would go on to revolutionize the way people shared their lives. Unlike other platforms where posts were static and permanent, Snapchat Stories were dynamic, offering a more fleeting, in-the-moment way to experience someone's day. It was a game changer. In 2014, Facebook made a bold move to acquire Snapchat, offering a reported $3 billion for the app. Spiegel, still in his 20s and with a clear vision for his company, rejected the offer. He refused to sell, opting instead to build something unique on his own terms. It was a decision that would define his career. Despite initial skepticism, Spiegel's belief that Snapchat was more than just a messaging app began to gain widespread recognition. The following year, in 2015, Snapchat introduced Discover, a feature that brought media companies, publishers, and celebrities to the app, offering curated content to users. This move marked Snapchat's transition from a simple photo-sharing app into a full-fledged multimedia platform. With Discover, Spiegel aimed to blend entertainment, news, and social media, offering users a way to consume content while still interacting with friends. Evan Spiegel is more than just a Silicon Valley CEO. He's a pioneer who forever altered how we communicate, share, and consume information in the digital age. As the co-founder and CEO of Snap Inc., Spiegel's influence goes far beyond the creation of Snapchat. His vision has reshaped the entire social media landscape, creating new standards for how people interact with technology and one another. When Spiegel first launched Snapchat in 2011, few could have predicted the massive impact the app would have on both the tech world and society at large. Snapchat introduced the concept of ephemeral communication messages and images that disappeared after being viewed. At a time when social media was dominated by permanent posts, this shift was radical. It offered a way for people, especially younger users, to interact online without the pressure of maintaining a perfectly curated digital identity. This idea of impermanence sparked a cultural shift. Users could now share spontaneous moments, mistakes, and feelings without the fear that everything they posted would live on forever. Snapchat became a space where authenticity, not perfection, was celebrated. It gave rise to the real internet, where users didn't just share their highlights, they shared their lives, raw and unfiltered. Spiegel didn't stop there. His relentless drive to innovate transformed Snapchat into more than just a messaging app. In 2013, Snapchat introduced Stories, a feature that allowed users to post a series of photos and videos that lasted for 24 hours before disappearing. The Stories format has since been adopted by almost every major social media platform, from Instagram to Facebook. Today, it's hard to imagine a world without Stories, a testament to how Spiegel's bold ideas reshaped digital storytelling. But Spiegel didn't stop at reshaping how people communicated. He saw Snapchat as a multimedia platform with enormous potential. In 2015, the company introduced Discover, a feature that allowed major media companies to create short-form content for Snapchat's audience. This was a direct challenge to traditional forms of media, turning Snapchat into a place not only for personal communication, but also for news, entertainment, and advertising. Discover gave a new generation a way to access breaking news and curated content, all within the same platform they used to send silly selfies. In 2016, Spiegel pushed the boundaries even further by introducing Spectacles, Snapchat's very own augmented reality glasses. While this product didn't achieve the same level of success as the app, it showcased Spiegel's forward-thinking approach to technology. He envisioned a world where augmented reality and social media would seamlessly merge, and Spectacles was his first step toward making that vision a reality. Spiegel's insistence on pursuing innovative ideas, sometimes at the expense of immediate profits, highlighted his long-term view of technology. Spiegel's refusal to sell Snapchat, despite lucrative buyout offers, is perhaps one of the most defining aspects of his impact. When Facebook offered $3 billion for Snapchat in 2013, many advised Spiegel to take the money and run, but he resisted, believing that the company's future potential far outweighed any short-term gain. This decision not only solidified Spiegel's commitment to his vision, but also set the tone for how he would approach the growth and development of Snap Inc. Under his leadership, Snapchat evolved from a simple app to a multifaceted platform, from Lens's interactive filters that use augmented reality to Snap Maps, which allows users to see where their friends are in real time. Spiegel's ability to predict and adapt to the changing needs of users has kept Snapchat relevant, even as competitors like Instagram copied key features. He saw early on that augmented reality was not just a novelty, but the next frontier of social media, and his company has worked tirelessly to lead the charge. Perhaps one of his greatest contributions is the way he has redefined how brands approach marketing. Snapchat has become a platform where advertisers need to think outside the box. With its short-form, vertical videos and creative ad formats, Spiegel has made it clear that traditional advertising methods are not enough in the age of social media. Brands now have to engage users in innovative ways, whether through interactive filters, sponsored lenses, or branded stories to capture their attention. Spiegel has also made a lasting mark on privacy and user control. At a time when social media platforms have been under scrutiny for data privacy concerns, Snapchat's focus on ephemeral communication stands as a stark contrast to the data-hungry practices of many other platforms. Spiegel has always been a champion of user autonomy, emphasizing that Snapchat should serve as a space where people can be themselves, free from the permanent digital footprint that defines so many other platforms. While he is often seen as a Silicon Valley outsider, he's not the classic tech mogul with a huge public presence or aggressive marketing style. Spiegel's influence is undeniable. His impact reaches far beyond Snapchat. Through his leadership, he has inspired an entire generation of tech entrepreneurs to focus on creating platforms that prioritize user experience, privacy, and innovation over simply chasing profit. His approach has shown that success doesn't have to come at the cost of authenticity or trust. Today, as the CEO of Snap Inc., Spiegel continues to innovate, introducing new features, products, and technologies that push the boundaries of what's possible in the tech world. From augmented reality to artificial intelligence, Spiegel is building a future where communication, entertainment, and technology merge in ways we can only begin to imagine. In many ways, Evan Spiegel's impact on the world is just beginning. He has already revolutionized the way we communicate, share, and interact online, but his vision of a future shaped by immersive technologies, including augmented reality and machine learning, will likely define the next era of digital interaction. As Snapchat continues to evolve, so too will the legacy of Evan Spiegel, one of the most influential figures in the history of modern tech. As we conclude this journey through the life and legacy of Evan Spiegel, it's clear that his story is far from over. What started as a simple idea to make photos disappear has blossomed into a global tech empire, one that continues to evolve, shape, and disrupt the digital world. But beyond the billion-dollar valuations, Snapchat's true influence lies in how it has forever changed the way we communicate, interact, and experience the world. Spiegel's ability to stay true to his vision, even in the face of enormous pressure, is one of the defining characteristics of his career. When the world doubted him, when investors and critics questioned the longevity of Snapchat, he never wavered. His commitment to creating a platform that valued authenticity over perfection, that allowed users to communicate without the fear of permanent digital footprints, has resonated deeply with millions. In many ways, Snapchat became a cultural movement, a reflection of a generation's desire for more genuine, fleeting connections in a world where everything else seemed curated and staged. Under his leadership, Snap Inc. has not only survived but thrived. From the introduction of stories to the exploration of augmented reality with lenses and spectacles, Spiegel's vision for the future of social media has consistently pushed the envelope. He saw the potential for a new kind of digital experience, one that blended creativity, self-expression, and cutting-edge technology. Through Snapchat, he brought augmented reality into the mainstream, changing how we view and interact with the world around us. Spiegel's rejection of Facebook's $3 billion acquisition offer in 2013 will go down as one of the most defining moments in tech history. At the time, many saw it as a reckless move, but in hindsight, it was a masterstroke. His refusal to sell showed the world that Snapchat was never just about money, it was about creating something transformative, something that would change how we live online. His leadership and vision have always been about the long game, and it's that long-term thinking that has shaped Snap Inc. into the innovative force it is today. Yet, it hasn't been without challenges. The rise of competitors like Instagram, the pressure to maintain growth, and the constant demands of an ever-changing digital world have all tested Spiegel's resolve. But instead of yielding to the pressure, he has used these challenges as fuel for innovation. Snapchat's emphasis on augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and user-centric design continues to set it apart from its competitors. The app may have been imitated, but it has never been replicated. What's most striking about Evan Spiegel is his ability to remain focused on what truly matters: his users. In a tech world often driven by growth at all costs, Spiegel has consistently placed an emphasis on privacy, authenticity, and mental well-being. Snapchat's ephemeral nature, its lighthearted filters, and its focus on real-time, unpolished content have created a space where people can be themselves, free from the pressure to perform. And in a world where digital anxiety is on the rise, that may be one of the most important contributions to date. As a leader, Spiegel's quiet, sometimes even reserved demeanor stands in contrast to the brashness often associated with Silicon Valley moguls. Yet, it is this calm determination, paired with his unwavering belief in his vision, that has made him one of the most influential figures of his generation. Underneath the cool exterior, Spiegel has always been laser-focused on one thing: changing the way people connect, communicate, and experience the world. Today, Snap Inc. continues to push the boundaries of what's possible. With innovations in augmented reality, AI, and even the development of new hardware, Spiegel is laying the groundwork for the next frontier of digital communication. And while Snapchat may have been the catalyst for his success, it's clear that his work has only just begun. The future of Snap, and of Evan Spiegel himself, will be defined by even greater leaps forward in technology, ones that could alter the way we see the world and interact with one another forever. In many ways, Evan Spiegel's journey is a testament to the power of vision and resilience. He has shown the world that sometimes the greatest achievements come not from following the crowd, but from daring to chart your own course. As he looks ahead, it's clear that the digital landscape will continue to evolve in ways we can only begin to imagine, and Evan Spiegel will undoubtedly be at the forefront of that change, continuing to shape the world of tomorrow. The story of Evan Spiegel is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning. And as technology continues to advance, one thing is certain: his influence will remain, shaping the future of digital communication for generations to come. In the heart of Silicon Valley, one name stands out as a symbol of disruption and innovation: Brian Chesky. Born on August 29, 1981, in Niskayuna, New York, Chesky grew up with an entrepreneurial spirit and a passion for design. As a child, he had a knack for creating things, from toys to intricate models. But it wasn't until he enrolled at the Rhode Island School of Design that he began to realize how his creative instincts could change the world. Chesky's journey into the world of tech began after he graduated in 2004, when he moved to San Francisco with his co-founder, Joe Gebbia. Together, they would lay the foundation for what would become Airbnb, one of the most revolutionary companies in the history of the travel industry, but their path to success wasn't easy. In fact, it started with a simple yet bold idea. They rented out air mattresses in their apartment to help cover their rent during a busy conference in the city. It was an idea born out of necessity, but it soon evolved into something far larger. At first, the concept seemed outlandish. Who would want to stay in a stranger's home? But Chesky and Gebbia believed in the potential of this idea of offering people unique, authentic travel experiences, of connecting hosts with guests in a way traditional hotels never could. It was a challenge to get the concept off the ground. They faced financial struggles, skepticism from investors, and the constant battle of convincing people to trust a service that was completely new and unfamiliar. But Chesky's vision and determination never wavered. In 2008, the trio was joined by Nathan Blecherczyk, who helped develop the platform's technical infrastructure, and Airbnb was born. The company initially struggled to gain traction, but a combination of creativity, relentless marketing, and a commitment to providing customers with unparalleled experiences slowly started to pay off. Airbnb's model, empowering ordinary people to open their homes to strangers, resonated with people all over the world. The idea of belonging anywhere became the core of Airbnb's ethos, and the company quickly became a global sensation. Chesky, as the CEO, was no stranger to the challenges of leadership. From navigating regulatory battles to handling rapid growth, he always kept the company focused on its mission: to create a world where anyone could find a place to stay and feel at home, no matter where they were. What started as a small idea to solve a personal financial problem grew into a multi-billion-dollar company that redefined the way we think about travel, hospitality, and community. But Brian Chesky's story isn't just about business success, it's about vision, resilience, and the belief that one small idea can change the world. His journey has been filled with setbacks, surprises, and moments of doubt, but through it all, his unwavering belief in the power of human connection has guided him. Today, Airbnb is a household name, and Chesky's impact on the world of travel and entrepreneurship is undeniable. Brian Chesky was born on August 29, 1981, in Niskayuna, New York, to a middle-class family. His father, a social worker, and his mother, an artist, provided him with a nurturing environment where creativity and hard work were valued. From a young age, Brian showed a deep interest in design and art, which would shape his future career. He attended the Rhode Island School of Design, RISD, one of the country's top design schools, where he would meet his future co-founder, Joe Gebbia. Chesky, a product design major, was drawn to the idea of solving problems through design. At Rist, he began to hone his skills in product and industrial design. But he didn't just want to create for the sake of creating. He wanted to design in a way that would have a real impact. His creativity was paired with a natural entrepreneurial instinct, which led him to explore how design could merge with business in innovative ways. After graduating in 2004, Chesky moved to San Francisco with Joe Gebbia. The two were struggling to make ends meet with no clear direction in sight. But instead of giving up, they decided to take a bold risk, an idea born out of necessity. San Francisco was hosting a major design conference and hotels were fully booked. To cover their rent, Chesky and Gebbia decided to rent out air mattresses in their living room to conference attendees. They named it Air Bed and Breakfast, and the idea was simple: offer a place to stay for those who couldn't find a hotel. This small experiment would become the seed for what would eventually be known as Airbnb. They soon realized that their idea could do more than just solve a financial problem. It could change the way people traveled. The two pitched their idea to friends and family, but there was skepticism. No one wanted to stay in a stranger's home. Despite the doubt, they pressed on. They took out a loan, bought a few air mattresses, and launched a simple website that would allow anyone to rent out a room in their home. It was a tough start. They faced a series of failures, from getting rejected by investors to dealing with the technical glitches of the platform. But they were determined. In 2008, the trio Chesky, Gebbia, and their third co-founder, Nathan Blecherczyk, who came on board to help with the technology, officially founded Airbnb. They struggled in those early days, even resorting to selling limited edition cereal boxes in order to fund their startup. They created Obama O's and Cap McCain's during the 2008 U.S. presidential election, raising a small but crucial sum of money to keep the company alive. Despite these hurdles, Chesky's leadership, combined with his co-founder's passion, began to build momentum. Their breakthrough moment came in 2009, when they were accepted into the Y Combinator Startup Accelerator. This gave them not only credibility, but also the resources to refine their platform and scale it. From there, Airbnb's growth skyrocketed. What began as a small idea for renting air mattresses turned into a global platform that allowed anyone to list, discover, and book accommodations anywhere in the world. Airbnb's success was based on Chesky's commitment to user experience, design, and trust, key components that set it apart from traditional hospitality. Chesky's philosophy was simple yet profound. Airbnb wasn't just about renting homes. It was about creating a sense of belonging. From the beginning, he wanted to create a platform where people felt like they were more than just customers, they were part of a global community. He promoted the idea that Airbnb could offer not just a place to stay, but a place to connect, to experience different cultures, and to build lasting memories. By 2011, Airbnb was already a household name. But Chesky and his team were just getting started. They continued to innovate, introducing new features like the Airbnb mobile app, which allowed users to book on the go, and Airbnb experiences, which allowed travelers to book unique, local activities hosted by locals. This shift from just providing accommodations to offering unique, authentic experiences changed the nature of the travel industry. Despite the success, Chesky faced several challenges. Airbnb's rapid growth put the company under intense scrutiny, with numerous legal battles and regulatory challenges from cities around the world. Critics argued that Airbnb was driving up rental prices and contributing to housing shortages in some areas. However, Chesky remained firm in his belief that Airbnb wasn't just a business, it was a force for positive change in the world, fostering human connection and cultural exchange. He worked tirelessly to create partnerships with local governments and communities to address these issues and ensure the platform remained sustainable. Through his leadership, Airbnb continued to expand globally. By 2017, Airbnb had reached over 100 million users, and the platform was available in more than 190 countries. The company was valued at over $30 billion, making Chesky one of the youngest billionaires in the world. But for Chesky, the mission was always more important than the financial rewards. He was determined to build a company that had a lasting impact not just on the travel industry but on how people viewed the concept of home. In 2020, as the world faced the COVID-19 pandemic, Airbnb faced its most significant challenge yet. Travel came to a halt and the company had to lay off 25% of its workforce. However, Chesky's resilience and ability to adapt were on full display as he pivoted the company's focus to domestic and local travel, creating new ways for people to travel safely during the pandemic. Under his leadership, Airbnb survived the crisis and quickly rebounded, showing once again the strength of his vision. Today, Brian Chesky is more than just the CEO of Airbnb. He's a symbol of innovation, resilience, and the power of creativity. His story is one of taking risks, overcoming adversity, and believing in the power of human connection. Chesky didn't just create a company, he helped create a movement, one that changed how we think about travel, hospitality, and community. The story of Airbnb is not just the tale of a company, it's the story of a vision that transformed the way we travel, connect, and experience the world. At the heart of this revolution is Brian Chesky, whose journey from a struggling entrepreneur to the CEO of one of the most disruptive companies in history has reshaped the entire hospitality industry. It all began in 2007. Brian Chesky and his co-founder, Joe Gebbia, were living in a cramped San Francisco apartment, struggling to pay rent. With the city hosting a major design conference, they noticed a shortage of hotel rooms. Seeing an opportunity, they decided to rent out air mattresses in their living room to conference attendees. They called it Air Bed and Breakfast, offering more than just a place to sleep. They promised an experience that was personal, affordable, and unique. What seemed like a short-term solution for a financial problem quickly turned into something much larger. The success of their first experiment was enough to convince them that this idea could go beyond renting air mattresses. They realized that there was a gap in the hospitality market, a space for people to share their homes and offer travelers something different from traditional hotels. In 2008, the duo was joined by Nathan Blecherchik, a former roommate and engineer who helped build the technical infrastructure for the platform. Together, the trio launched Airbnb, a website designed to let anyone list a room, apartment, or home for rent. They faced skepticism and doubt from both investors and the public. After all, the idea of letting strangers stay in your home was unconventional, and the concept of peer-to-peer lodging was an unknown entity. The road to success was rocky, especially in those early days. Airbnb had no money, no users, and no real backing. To fund their startup, they resorted to selling limited edition cereal boxes during the 2008 presidential election. They released special cereals called Obama-O's and Cap McCain's to generate revenue, demonstrating their creative approach to solving financial problems. Despite these efforts, it wasn't until they joined the Y Combinator Accelerator in 2009 that Airbnb began to gain serious momentum. Y Combinator was the breakthrough Airbnb desperately needed. With the guidance and funding they received, they refined their website, and word started to spread. Slowly, people began to see the value in the idea of staying in a stranger's home. What started as a niche market soon began to grow, and more hosts began offering their homes for short-term rental. By 2011, Airbnb was a household name, and it was becoming evident that the company had created something revolutionary. The company's ability to leverage technology to connect hosts with travelers was a game changer. Unlike traditional hotels, Airbnb provided unique, personalized experiences. People could now stay in homes, apartments, or even castles, places that reflected the culture and character of the city or region they were visiting. The company was not just selling rooms, it was selling authentic travel experiences that hotels could never replicate. One of the company's most pivotal moves was the launch of Airbnb experiences in 2016. With this new initiative, Airbnb expanded beyond just accommodations to offer travelers activities curated by local hosts. Whether it was a cooking class in a Parisian kitchen or a surfing lesson in Hawaii, Airbnb experiences allowed guests to truly immerse themselves in the local culture, making their trips more meaningful and personal. But Airbnb's rise wasn't without challenges. Cities around the world, concerned about the impact Airbnb was having on local housing markets, began to impose regulations on short-term rentals. Governments and hotel industries were vocal in their opposition, accusing the company of driving up rental prices and contributing to housing shortages. However, despite these challenges, Chesky and his team remained focused on the bigger picture, building a platform where people could feel like they belonged anywhere in the world. Chesky's leadership during these regulatory battles was crucial. He believed that Airbnb was not just a business, it was a movement. The company wasn't just about accommodations. It was about fostering global human connection, creating opportunities for people to interact with cultures and communities they may never have encountered before. Chesky's personal commitment to the values of belonging, trust, and community were woven into the DNA of Airbnb, even as the company faced resistance from powerful forces. The company's ability to scale quickly was nothing short of impressive. By 2015, Airbnb had expanded to over 190 countries with millions of listings available worldwide. By offering travelers a chance to book unique, personalized accommodations in places they may have never considered, Airbnb created an entirely new way to experience travel. It was no longer just about visiting a destination, it was about living in it, even if only for a few days. With its rapid growth came the pressure to continue innovating. In 2017, Airbnb launched Airbnb Plus, a collection of high-quality homes that met a set of rigorous standards, ensuring travelers had access to consistently great experiences. This helped address concerns about quality and reliability, which had sometimes been a barrier to trust among new users, but Chesky didn't stop there. His vision for the future extended beyond just accommodations. He wanted Airbnb to redefine what it meant to belong anywhere in the world. Despite the success and milestones, Airbnb faced one of its biggest challenges in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic. With global travel at a standstill, the company was forced to rethink its approach. In response, Chesky and his team pivoted quickly, focusing on local and domestic travel while ensuring that hosts and guests could travel safely. This adaptability allowed Airbnb to weather the storm and rebound quickly once the world started to recover. By the time Airbnb went public in December 2020, it was clear that the company had not just survived, it had thrived. With a market valuation that soared to over $100 billion, Airbnb's success wasn't just about profitability. It was about the cultural impact it had made. The company had changed the way people thought about travel, home sharing, and hospitality. Today, Airbnb is a symbol of innovation in the global travel industry. From its humble beginnings as a way to rent out air mattresses to becoming a global leader in alternative accommodations, Airbnb's rise is a testament to the power of an idea, persistence, and the belief that when you trust people to share their space, you're not just offering a room, you're offering a chance to belong. Brian Chesky's impact goes far beyond the creation of Airbnb. He has fundamentally reshaped industries, economies, and even the way we think about home, travel, and human connection. Through his vision, Chesky didn't just build a billion-dollar company. He created a movement that has altered the global landscape in ways that few could have predicted. From the very beginning, his approach was about more than just making money. It was about creating a platform that brings people together. Before Airbnb, the concept of home sharing was mostly seen as an afterthought, something that existed in small, niche markets. But Chesky's genius was in seeing the potential for something bigger. By designing a platform that enabled ordinary people to open their doors to strangers, he revolutionized the travel industry. Airbnb didn't just disrupt hotels, it redefined what hospitality could mean. Instead of staying in a faceless, impersonal hotel room, travelers could now stay in someone's home, experiencing the city through the eyes of a local. This fundamental shift allowed people to feel more connected to the places they visited and the people they met. Chesky's belief in the power of community was a key driver behind Airbnb's success. From the outset, he wanted Airbnb to be more than just a marketplace for accommodations. He wanted it to be a place where people could belong. The idea of belonging anywhere became the company's mission, shaping everything from product design to marketing campaigns. This idea wasn't just a slogan, it was a reflection of Chesky's core belief that travel should be about experiences and human connections, not just places to sleep. Under Chesky's leadership, Airbnb expanded rapidly, touching nearly every corner of the globe. By 2015, Airbnb had listings in more than 190 countries, with millions of hosts offering homes, apartments, and even unique spaces like tree houses or castles. This vast expansion didn't just create a global business. It fostered an entirely new economy of micro-entrepreneurs. Double quotes for many people, hosting on Airbnb became a way to make a living, often transforming entire communities and providing additional income to families who might have otherwise struggled. But Chesky's impact wasn't limited to the business world. Airbnb became a symbol of the sharing economy, a model where people could exchange goods and services not through traditional companies but through personal relationships. This model was more democratic, more personal, and more flexible, and it resonated with people all over the world. Chesky helped spearhead a shift in consumer behavior that prioritized experiences and trust over ownership, something that has influenced everything from transportation with companies like Uber to fashion, food, and beyond. Airbnb also had a profound effect on how we view the concept of home. For many travelers, the idea of staying with a local host in their home was a deeply human experience. It was about more than just the physical space, it was about creating moments, memories, and connections with people from diverse cultures. Chesky himself often spoke about how Airbnb wasn't just about renting out a place to stay, it was about connecting with someone in a way that made you feel at home no matter where you were in the world. This reimagining of home, hospitality, and travel has influenced millions of people, and it has helped fuel the growing desire for authentic, meaningful experiences. On a deeper level, Chesky's impact lies in his commitment to trust, safety, and community. From the very beginning, he emphasized building a platform that both hosts and guests could feel confident in. Airbnb introduced ratings, reviews, and a robust review system that helped establish trust between strangers. Chesky understood that trust was the backbone of the entire business, and he worked relentlessly to create systems that protected both hosts and guests from harm. This focus on trust and safety helped elevate Airbnb from just another tech startup to a widely respected global brand. Chesky also spearheaded initiatives to make Airbnb more inclusive. Airbnb's platform was open to all types of people, regardless of nationality, gender, or background. The company actively worked to combat discrimination, ensuring that hosts and guests treated each other with respect and fairness. Chesky's dedication to inclusion and fairness reflected his broader philosophy that technology should serve to bring people closer, not divide them. During Airbnb's early years, Chesky faced significant challenges. Fundraising was difficult, investors were skeptical, and the company had to battle the status quo of the hotel industry. But instead of backing down, Chesky's resilience became part of his identity. His ability to maintain focus on Airbnb's vision, even in the face of intense criticism, played a key role in the company's eventual success. In particular, his decision to turn down a $3 billion buyout offer from Facebook in 2013 was a defining moment. It was a gamble, but it was one that paid off, and it showed the world that Chesky was committed to building something much larger than just a business. It was about creating an institution that could stand the test of time. Chesky's leadership also helped Airbnb survive some of its toughest moments. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020, the travel industry ground to a halt. Airbnb was hit hard, but Chesky quickly pivoted, focusing on domestic travel, cleaning protocols, and providing flexible cancellation policies to accommodate a world in crisis. His decisive actions during the pandemic ensured that Airbnb didn't just survive the global shutdown, it thrived. The company emerged from the crisis more agile, with a renewed focus on safety and community. But Brian Chesky's impact isn't just about Airbnb. He has become a global thought leader on topics ranging from entrepreneurship to technology and social change. His focus on the human side of business has inspired countless entrepreneurs to rethink how they approach their customers, their teams, and their products. He often speaks about how the best businesses are those that solve real human problems, and he has lived this philosophy through Airbnb. As an entrepreneur, Chesky also advocates for a culture of experimentation and resilience. His journey from struggling designer to billionaire CEO was marked by setbacks and failures, but each obstacle only fueled his resolve. His story has become a beacon for entrepreneurs around the world, showing that innovation is not just about having a great idea, but about having the perseverance to bring it to life and stay true to your vision. Ultimately, Chesky's legacy will be remembered for the ways in which he redefined industries, connected people, and created a platform that empowered individuals on a global scale. Today, Airbnb remains one of the most influential companies in the world, and Chesky continues to be a driving force behind the future of travel, technology, and community. As the years passed, Brian Chesky's vision for Airbnb evolved, but his core belief remained unchanged, that travel should be about more than just booking a place to stay. It should be about creating human connections. He didn't just build a company, he built a platform for people to experience a deeper sense of belonging, regardless of where they came from or where they were going. Through his leadership, Airbnb became a symbol of the sharing economy, and Chesky himself became one of the defining entrepreneurs of his generation. In many ways, Chesky's story reflects the power of perseverance. From his early days of struggling to pay rent, to selling limited edition cereal boxes to fund the startup, to facing constant skepticism from investors, the journey was anything but easy. But through every challenge, Chesky's belief in Airbnb's potential never wavered. His unwavering commitment to design, community, and trust became the foundation for Airbnb's success and its transformation into a global powerhouse. Despite the immense growth and financial success, Chesky never lost sight of the human element that powered Airbnb. His focus on providing people with authentic travel experiences, a sense of belonging, and access to local culture resonated deeply with millions of users around the world. In this way, Brian Chesky didn't just disrupt an industry, he redefined it. His company introduced the world to a new way of thinking about hospitality, where personal connections and unique experiences took precedence over traditional accommodations. Even in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, which brought the global travel industry to a standstill, Chesky's leadership proved to be pivotal. He quickly pivoted Airbnb's business model to adapt to a world that was rapidly changing, prioritizing safety, flexibility, and local travel. His resilience and ability to steer the company through one of the most challenging times in its history showcased his adaptability and vision. As Airbnb continues to grow, so does Chesky's influence. He remains focused on building a business that not only meets the needs of the travel industry but also prioritizes the values of empathy, trust, and community. He has made it clear that Airbnb's purpose goes beyond profits. It's about enriching lives and creating connections between people from all walks of life. Brian Chesky's legacy is already secured not just in the billions of dollars Airbnb has generated, but in the millions of personal stories shared between hosts and guests, in the communities that have thrived thanks to the sharing economy, and in the ways he has challenged and redefined what business can achieve in the 21st century. Through Airbnb, Chesky has not only disrupted an industry, he's changed the way we look at home, travel, and what it truly means to belong. As the company continues to evolve, so does the vision of its founder. Brian Chesky's journey is far from over. With a passion for creativity, a belief in the power of human connection, and a drive to challenge the status quo, he remains at the forefront of the next wave of innovation in the travel industry. And for millions of people around the world, Airbnb is not just a service, it's a reminder that no matter where we are, we all have the ability to make someone feel at home. Jack Dorsey is a name that has become synonymous with the digital age. Born on November 19, 1976 in St. Louis, Missouri, Dorsey's journey into the world of technology began with a fascination for communication and connectivity. From a young age, he was captivated by the idea of networks, how people interacted, how messages were sent and received, and how systems could be structured. This curiosity would later lead him to create one of the most influential platforms in the world. Dorsey's path to becoming a tech mogul wasn't without its challenges. He studied computer programming and developed an early interest in both coding and design. After dropping out of college, Dorsey's drive to create something revolutionary led him to Silicon Valley in the late 90s, where he would eventually co-found Twitter. However, before Twitter, there was another ambitious project, Square, a company aimed at democratizing payments and making it easier for anyone to accept credit card transactions using a mobile device. What truly sets Dorsey apart is his ability to create products that capture the pulse of the modern world. Twitter, launched in 2006, gave people a real-time platform to communicate, share thoughts, and create movements, shrinking the world in a way that had never been done before. It was simple, effective, and instantly resonated with users across the globe. Today, Twitter has become a cornerstone of the digital communication landscape, with millions of users sharing everything from breaking news to personal opinions. Dorsey's role as a visionary didn't stop with Twitter. In 2009, he launched Square, transforming the way small businesses could engage with consumers by allowing them to accept credit card payments with a small, portable device. Square was revolutionary not just for its technology, but for its ability to empower millions of entrepreneurs around the world, giving them access to financial tools that were once out of reach. As both the co-founder and CEO of Twitter and later as the CEO of Square, Dorsey's influence has grown exponentially. But what makes him truly remarkable is how his companies have become much more than just businesses. They've reshaped industries and changed the way we think about technology, commerce, and communication. Jack Dorsey's journey is one of innovation, persistence, and a relentless drive to make the world more connected, whether through social media, financial transactions, or his overarching belief in the power of technology to solve real-world problems. Jack Dorsey's story is one of ambition, innovation, and resilience. Born on November 19, 1976 in St. Louis, Missouri, Jack was raised in a tech-forward household where he quickly developed an interest in technology and communication. From a young age, he was fascinated by the idea of networks, how things were connected, and how people communicated. By the time he was a teenager, he was already teaching himself computer programming and experimenting with writing code. Little did anyone know, this curiosity would soon lead him to become one of the most influential tech entrepreneurs of his generation. After graduating from high school, Dorsey attended the University of Missouri-Rolla, now known as Missouri University of Science and Technology, where he studied computer science and engineering. However, he eventually dropped out and moved to New York City, a decision that would change his life forever. Dorsey's early fascination with communication systems led him to experiment with the idea of a real-time, short-message service. This concept would go on to change the course of history. In the early 2000s, Dorsey moved to Silicon Valley and found himself at the heart of the tech revolution. He worked at Odeo, a podcasting platform founded by Evan Williams, a pivotal moment in his life. While there, Dorsey proposed an idea that would ultimately become Twitter, a platform for short, simple messages that could be shared instantly with anyone. Despite the initial skepticism of his peers, Dorsey's vision eventually gained traction, and Twitter was born in 2006. Twitter began as a side project at Odeo, and it quickly gained popularity. Dorsey's idea for an online space that allowed people to share their thoughts in 140 characters or less tapped into the world's need for real-time, bite-sized communication. It was simple, direct, and powerful, and it didn't take long for people to embrace the new platform. Twitter exploded in popularity, and what was once a small project became a global phenomenon. Celebrities, politicians, and everyday people alike began using Twitter to share news, opinions, and updates, and the world of social media was forever changed. However, Dorsey's journey with Twitter wasn't without challenges. In 2008, just 2 years after Twitter's launch, Dorsey was ousted as CEO, a move that shocked the tech world. His departure from the company was largely due to internal power struggles with other executives, including co-founder Evan Williams. Despite this setback, Dorsey remained committed to Twitter's mission, and he continued to support the platform from the outside as it grew into one of the most influential tools of the digital age. While Dorsey was navigating the ups and downs of Twitter, he also set his sights on another ambitious project, Square, a payment processing company that would revolutionize the way small businesses and individuals accepted payments. Founded in 2009, Square's mission was simple: to make it easier for anyone to accept credit card payments using just a mobile phone and a small card reader. This idea, born out of Dorsey's desire to help small business owners, quickly gained traction and grew into a powerful financial platform used by millions of entrepreneurs around the world. Square's impact has been immense. It enabled small businesses, especially those without access to traditional banking services, to accept payments, manage their sales, and track their finances. What started as a simple payment solution evolved into a full-fledged financial ecosystem, offering everything from small business loans to advanced analytics tools. Square has become a major player in the fintech industry, and Dorsey's ability to identify gaps in the market and create solutions that truly meet people's needs has been a hallmark of his career. In 2015, Dorsey was reappointed as CEO of Twitter, a move that signaled a new chapter for the company. Under his leadership, Twitter continued to evolve and adapt to the changing social media landscape. Dorsey focused on simplifying the platform, improving user experience, and refining its advertising model. Despite facing stiff competition from companies like Facebook and Instagram, Twitter remained a key player in digital communication and news sharing, particularly during critical moments like political events, social movements, and major global crises. But Dorsey's leadership style has often been unconventional. Known for his calm demeanor and often minimalistic approach, he has been described as someone who values simplicity and clarity over complexity. He's also known for his commitment to wellness and mindfulness, often practicing intermittent fasting, meditation, and yoga. His approach to leadership is grounded in a desire to create a culture of trust, transparency, and personal growth both for himself and his employees. Dorsey's passion for technology goes beyond just the companies he's built. He's also been an advocate for innovation in areas like blockchain and cryptocurrency. In recent years, he has become a vocal supporter of Bitcoin, calling it the native currency of the Internet. His enthusiasm for decentralized technologies and digital currencies has positioned him as a thought leader in the future of finance, and he has even taken steps to integrate blockchain technology into Square's offerings. Throughout his career, Jack Dorsey has faced his share of controversies. From being ousted at Twitter to criticisms about Twitter's role in spreading misinformation, Dorsey's companies have been under intense scrutiny. But despite the challenges, he has continued to push forward with his mission to make the world more connected, both through social media and financial services. His ability to navigate these turbulent waters with resilience and vision has only solidified his place in history as one of the leading figures of the digital age. Today, Dorsey's influence extends beyond the companies he founded. As one of Silicon Valley's most prominent entrepreneurs, his name is synonymous with innovation, disruption, and the changing nature of how we communicate and transact. From Twitter to Square and beyond, Jack Dorsey has shown time and time again that he is not afraid to take risks and challenge the status quo. His legacy is still unfolding, and with his continued focus on innovation, it's clear that Dorsey will remain a key figure in the tech world for years to come. In 2006, a small, seemingly simple idea took flight in Silicon Valley, a platform designed for brief, real-time communication. At the time, no one knew that this idea would transform the digital landscape forever. That platform was Twitter, founded by Jack Dorsey, Biz Stone, and Evan Williams. What started as a way to share short status updates would soon evolve into one of the most influential communication tools the world has ever known. The story of Twitter's rise began at Odeo, a podcasting company co-founded by Evan Williams. It was at Odeo where Jack Dorsey, a software engineer, came up with the initial concept for Twitter. Dorsey was fascinated by the concept of real-time communication, and he envisioned a service where people could share short messages or tweets in a public feed. Initially, Twitter was just a side project, a simple way to update friends on what you were doing at the moment. However, the idea of communicating instantly and publicly struck a chord. In March 2006, Twitter was born. At first, the platform was met with a lukewarm reception. It seemed like just another digital tool in an already crowded space. But something about the simplicity of Twitter resonated with people. The 140-character limit forced brevity, and its public nature made it appealing for real-time updates. This was not just about sharing personal thoughts, it was about sharing thoughts with the world. As the platform slowly grew, its utility began to become clear. From friends updating each other to news outlets reporting breaking stories, Twitter was being used in new, unexpected ways. In 2007, Twitter began gaining real traction, especially at tech conferences. It was during this time that Twitter caught the attention of investors. In 2007, Twitter raised its first major round of funding, and the company began scaling rapidly. The platform was introduced to the wider public, and more people started seeing its potential for immediate communication. Celebrities, politicians, and journalists began adopting it, and Twitter quickly became an integral tool in the media world. One of Twitter's most significant moments came in 2009 during the Iranian election protests. Iranian activists used Twitter to organize demonstrations and spread information to the outside world, bypassing government censorship. This moment highlighted Twitter's power as a tool for social change. Suddenly, Twitter wasn't just a platform for self-expression, it was a tool for activism, a voice for the voiceless. It wasn't long before Twitter became synonymous with breaking news, allowing users to share live updates during major global events. But while Twitter's growth seemed unstoppable, internal challenges were mounting. As the platform expanded, so did its complexity. The simplicity that made Twitter so powerful also made it difficult to monetize. Twitter's initial business model was based on advertising, but it struggled to generate consistent revenue. In 2008, Twitter was on the brink of collapse. The company was losing money, and there were questions about whether it could continue operating. In a move that would change the company's trajectory, Twitter appointed Evan Williams as CEO, who made the decision to refocus Twitter's vision on becoming a communications platform rather than just a social network. Despite these growing pains, Twitter's reach continued to expand. As mobile devices became more ubiquitous, Twitter's popularity soared. The rise of smartphones gave users constant access to the platform, making it a central part of their daily lives. Celebrities tweeted, politicians tweeted, even world leaders took to Twitter to communicate directly with their followers. By 2010, Twitter was one of the most powerful platforms in the world, with millions of active users. Yet, with success came new challenges. The platform's open nature made it a powerful tool, but it also made it a target for abuse. As Twitter grew, so did the amount of spam, harassment, and misinformation. These issues would plague Twitter for years, and the company struggled to find solutions. Its content moderation policies were criticized, and its inability to effectively tackle the spread of fake news and harassment became one of its most significant challenges. Another challenge arose in 2011 when Dorsey, who had stepped down as CEO in 2008, returned to lead Twitter as the company's CEO once again. Despite his success in creating the platform, Dorsey faced enormous pressure to turn the company into a more sustainable business. Twitter's revenue generation was still underdeveloped, and investors were eager for growth. Dorsey's return signaled a shift in the company's direction, focusing more on user growth and refining the platform's advertising model. However, Dorsey's second stint as CEO wasn't without conflict. Twitter struggled to find a clear identity in the face of stiff competition from companies like Facebook and Instagram, which offered more visual, immersive social experiences. Twitter's core strength, its simplicity, was starting to show signs of strain as users wanted more from the platform than just short text posts. Twitter had been built for brevity, but the world was evolving into a more multimedia-driven landscape. As Instagram and Snapchat grew, Twitter found itself at a crossroads. While Twitter continued to innovate, it never fully managed to capture the same visual and creative energy that its competitors did. Its failure to evolve into a more dynamic multimedia platform was seen as a weakness. Despite attempts to innovate with features like Vine, a short video sharing platform, and Periscope, a live streaming app, these initiatives didn't have the same lasting impact. In 2016, Twitter shut down Vine, one of its biggest flops, signaling that it couldn't fully adapt to the fast-changing digital ecosystem. Despite these struggles, Twitter remained a critical platform for real-time communication. The company's role in politics, social movements, and global crises continued to grow. Twitter became a battleground for discourse, with world leaders, journalists, and activists using the platform to shape public opinion. However, this also made the platform a target for increasing scrutiny. Twitter became a focal point in debates about free speech, the spread of misinformation, and the role of tech companies in regulating online content. The 2016 U.S. presidential election marked a turning point for Twitter. The platform was accused of being a major tool in the spread of fake news, Russian disinformation, and toxic political rhetoric. The company was under intense pressure to regulate content and curb the spread of harmful material. While Twitter made efforts to improve its content moderation and tackle harassment, its reputation was tarnished. By 2018, Twitter's user growth had stagnated and its stock price was volatile. It had become a company that faced significant questions about its future direction. In 2020, after years of struggle, Twitter seemed to reach a new turning point with the introduction of features like fleets of disappearing stories format and more aggressive moderation policies. But by then, it was clear that Twitter's place in the digital landscape was different. It had become a platform not just for social interaction, but also for political discourse, misinformation, and societal division. Through all of this, Jack Dorsey's role as the founder of Twitter remained iconic. While he stepped down as CEO of Twitter in 2021, his influence on the platform and the broader tech landscape continues to be felt. Twitter's rise and fall were not just about the company itself, but about how social media platforms shape modern life both for better and for worse. Dorsey's vision for real-time, open communication will forever be embedded in the digital DNA of the 21st century. Twitter's journey reflects the complexities of innovation, the challenges of scaling, and the unpredictable consequences of shaping the public conversation. Jack Dorsey's impact on the digital world is immeasurable. As the co-founder of Twitter and Square, Dorsey didn't just build platforms. He revolutionized the way we communicate, share information, and conduct business. His legacy is deeply woven into the fabric of the internet and modern society. Twitter, launched in 2006, transformed the way people interacted online. By introducing real-time, public conversations in the form of 140-character tweets, Dorsey helped shape the future of digital communication. Twitter quickly became the go-to platform for breaking news, political discourse, social movements, and personal expression. What started as a simple idea for short status updates became the digital heartbeat of the world. Dorsey's belief in the power of brevity and simplicity was a defining feature of Twitter. Unlike other platforms that focused on photos or videos, Twitter was centered around quick, digestible pieces of text. This concept struck a chord globally, and by 2009, Twitter became a cornerstone of news sharing. In the midst of the Iranian elections in 2009, Twitter became a critical tool for organizing protests and spreading information under government censorship. This moment was a clear demonstration of the power Twitter held not just as a communication tool, but as a platform for real-time activism and political change. However, Dorsey's impact wasn't limited to Twitter. In 2009, he co-founded Square, a mobile payment solution that democratized the ability to accept credit card payments. Square's simple and effective design allowed anyone from small business owners to independent creators to easily process payments via their phones. By enabling small businesses to participate in the digital economy, Dorsey helped create an ecosystem where entrepreneurship could thrive. Square also expanded into financial services, offering loans and other financial products to those who were previously underserved by traditional banking. Jack Dorsey's impact on the financial sector is especially noteworthy. Square fundamentally changed how people think about money, payments, and commerce. The rise of Square has played a pivotal role in the broader movement towards a cashless society. Dorsey saw a gap in the market and understood the need for inclusivity in financial tools, making Square not just a success but a transformative force in global finance. Beyond payments, Dorsey's role in advancing the blockchain and cryptocurrency space has further cemented his legacy. As an outspoken advocate for Bitcoin, Dorsey has pushed Square to embrace cryptocurrency, viewing it as the native currency of the internet. Through his efforts, Square became one of the first major financial companies to allow users to buy and sell Bitcoin through its platform. Dorsey's forward-thinking approach to blockchain technology is part of his broader vision of decentralization, a belief that financial systems should be open, transparent, and accessible to all. But Dorsey's impact goes beyond products and technology. His leadership style has also influenced the culture of Silicon Valley. Known for his minimalist approach, Dorsey often emphasizes simplicity, mindfulness, and discipline. His focus on health and wellness through practices like intermittent fasting and meditation has shaped the way some tech entrepreneurs approach work-life balance. His leadership is not just about the bottom line. It's about creating a sustainable, positive culture for employees and encouraging personal growth and self-care. Dorsey's influence in shaping the social media landscape is also undeniable. Twitter became the primary platform for political discourse, with politicians, celebrities, journalists, and even world leaders using it as their megaphone to broadcast messages to millions. The platform helped reshape how political campaigns are run, how public debates unfold, and how social movements spread. Hashtags like #BlackLivesMatter and #MeToo, which began as grassroots movements, were amplified globally through Twitter, giving marginalized voices a platform and challenging power structures worldwide. However, Dorsey's platforms have also raised tough questions about power, responsibility, and free speech. Twitter has been at the center of debates about misinformation, hate speech, and censorship. Dorsey, as the head of one of the most influential platforms in the world, has often found himself navigating the complexities of content moderation and the ethical responsibilities of tech giants. Despite criticism, he remained committed to the platform's original ethos of free speech, though it became evident that balancing freedom and responsibility was a monumental challenge. Dorsey's work has also influenced the way technology intersects with social issues. As an advocate for decentralization and user control, he's voiced concerns about the growing dominance of tech monopolies. He's pushed for open-source software and decentralized technologies as a way to ensure that people, rather than corporations, have control over their data. This philosophy aligns with his broader commitment to making technology more transparent, democratic, and accessible. Jack Dorsey's impact is not just in the technologies he created, but in the way he thought about technology's role in society. His commitment to creating platforms that connect people, provide access to financial services, and promote decentralization has inspired countless entrepreneurs and innovators. Dorsey's journey shows the power of vision, how one idea, if executed with care and conviction, can change the world. Despite the controversies surrounding his platforms, including concerns about misinformation and privacy, Dorsey's contributions to the digital age cannot be overstated. His work has helped create a digital ecosystem where communication, commerce, and finance can all exist on a global, decentralized scale. Whether through Twitter, Square, or his work in cryptocurrency, Dorsey's legacy is a testament to how one person's idea can have a profound, lasting impact on the world. As he continues to push the boundaries of technology, Dorsey's influence will continue to shape the future of both social media and finance. His impact extends far beyond the companies he's built. It's in the conversations people have every day, the businesses that thrive because of accessible financial tools, and the way we think about the future of money, communication, and the internet. Through all his ventures, Jack Dorsey has proven that technology is not just about what it can do. It's about how it can create connections and change lives. Jack Dorsey's journey has been marked by both extraordinary triumphs and significant challenges, but through it all, his vision for a more connected world has remained steadfast. From creating Twitter, which changed the way we communicate and share information, to launching Square, which democratized financial services for small businesses and individuals, Dorsey's influence on the digital landscape is undeniable. His work has reshaped how we engage with the internet, how businesses operate, and how we think about money and communication. But his impact goes beyond technology alone. Dorsey's commitment to decentralization and open-source innovation has sparked conversations about the future of the internet, one where individuals have more control over their data and digital lives. His advocacy for Bitcoin and blockchain technology reflects his belief in a more open and transparent financial system, one that challenges the dominance of traditional institutions. He sees technology as a force for good, a tool for empowering people rather than controlling them. Despite the controversies surrounding his companies, from issues of misinformation on Twitter to the ethical challenges of content moderation, Dorsey has remained a central figure in debates about the power of tech companies and their responsibility to society. His leadership has often been unconventional, focused on simplicity, health, and mindfulness, but it's this unique approach that has allowed him to remain at the forefront of innovation. As Dorsey steps away from his role as CEO of Twitter in 2021, his legacy is more than just the platforms he built. It's about the cultural shift he helped instigate, where digital platforms became essential tools for communication, activism, and commerce. Dorsey's work created a new kind of global connectivity, one that brings together people from all walks of life, from activists in the streets of Tehran to entrepreneurs in rural America and everyone in between. Looking ahead, Dorsey's influence will continue to ripple through the tech world, whether through Square's ongoing transformation of financial services or his advocacy for decentralized technologies. His vision for the future of the Internet is one that is less about centralized control and more about empowering individuals and communities. The challenges he faced and the risks he took have set the stage for the next generation of innovators. Jack Dorsey may no longer be at the helm of Twitter, but his fingerprints are all over the platforms that shape our digital lives. His legacy is built on the belief that technology should connect, empower, and uplift, and that's a vision that will continue to define the future of the Internet.